So with today's unboxing, I'm going to be using this double-bladed knife that I picked up when I used to be a truck driver. It's not really a good knife, but it looks cool. Alright. Yeah, it's having a hard time cutting the tape even. Alright, also got this in the mail today. This should be the butt pad for the CTR Stock. And I want to be using my multi-purpose, not a Swiss Army knife. We'll use the scissors on it. And we'll get there eventually. There we go. We're cooking with gas now. Ah, heck. Kind of wrapped in bubble wrap a little bit. Alright. So there it is. Let's go ahead and put that on. In my last video, we went ahead and put on the Magpul pistol grip and also the Spikes Tactical aluminum billet trigger guard. In this video, we're going to be putting on the CTR Stock from Magpul, and we're also going to be replacing the butt pad on it with a different one. In fact, we're going to be replacing it with the enhanced rubber butt pad. So this really cool looking thing. Alright, let's go ahead and get started on that. First, let's go ahead and put the lower to the side, and we'll take out the stock. So here we go. This is the Magpul CTR Stock. It has a locking mechanism right here. Don't know if that's 100% necessary, but it's kind of cool, so it'll work. This is the butt pad that comes with it. You can kind of see it's kind of thin and it's really hard. I mean, I can't even really feel much give in it at all, especially compared to the one that we're going to be putting on it. Much more give with this one. So the first thing you got to do in order to get this off is you got to take out these screws. Now, neither the stock nor the extra butt pad here came with an Allen wrench, but this does take an Allen wrench, and just so happened I had the right Allen wrench. Now, when you're taking this out, they have blue Loctite on these bolts, so it's going to take quite a bit of force, but you should be able to do it by hand. But just remember, it does have blue Loctite on it. So while I'm doing this, today's question that I have for you is to have free floating rails or clam rails. Basically the ones that close like a clam. I don't know the actual term for them, but you have to have like a delta ring and stuff like that. I'm kind of leaning towards getting the free floating rails. For a while I wasn't. I thought the other ones looked better, and I like to have the front iron sight on the gas block rail. But I've been kind of slowly changing my mind with that. Alright, now that I have the two bolts out, it still won't come out. And the reason why it still won't come out is there's these little notches that go in this hole. And I'll show you on this one. Let me see these. They go in there and they snap into that hole, and that holds it into place. So in order to get that out, you can actually take your Allen wrench and just push in on that tab in the hole, and it will pop out. Now normally you would have to do that on both sides, but I lucked out and one side took this whole thing out. But normally you would push in on this hole here to get it a little bit loose, and then go over on this side and do the same on that hole, and then it would come out. Now, the new butt pad did come with different screws that also have blue Loctite on them. I don't know if there's any difference at all in between the ones that were already in it and the new ones that the new butt pad came with, but I'm going to put in the new ones. Now, before I do that, also included with the stock was this really cool poster. And I don't know if I want to hang it anywhere or not. I haven't decided, but it's kind of cool. It's a little extra something. It's got a neat picture on it. Anyway, let's go ahead and put in the new butt pad. Pretty easy. You just got to make sure that you get these posts or whatever into the right notches, and then when you do, you just snap it into place like so. So that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and get the other screws out. So here's the other screws. And of course they also have blue Loctite on them. And we're just going to put them in the same way we took the other ones out. So free floating rails, I know one of the advantages to them is that they're more accurate technically because there's nothing pressing on the barrel. I'm only planning on getting a 14.5-inch barrel, and then since you have to have a 16-inch barrel, I'm going to have a muzzle brake that's at least 2 inches. So I don't know if it's really necessary, but it's kind of got the cool factor, and how much is the cool factor worth? And still not 100% on it, but you guys out there that know, a little bit more about this with the free floating rail thing, let me know. Is it really that extra? Does it really have that cool factor, or is it really more accurate enough to where it's going to make a difference? I haven't really priced out either one of them, but I do know that the free floating rail is more expensive. How much more expensive, I'm not totally sure on yet. But I definitely appreciate your guys' advice. I've learned a lot, especially about bullet weight and twist rates. So thank you to all those people that commented about that in my last video. Alright, so now that we have the butt pad on the stock, let's go ahead and put that on the rifle. Okay, this is not too hard, but it can be a little bit confusing. First, make sure that when you buy a stock for your AR, if you're building one, make sure you know what kind of tube this is. This is a mil-spec tube, and you can tell that because it is flat. It's straight up and down, whereas a commercial tube is kind of angled back this way a little bit. Not as much as I just did, but it's angled a little bit back. So this is a mil-spec stock, and just make sure of that before you buy it. So slipping it on here, it's not going to go very far. You have to push down on this right here, and what that does, you can see this little pin right here, is that's pulling down a stopping pin that rides inside of it that goes into these notches in the tube right here. But you can't get it on by just pushing down on here. You actually have to pull these pins down even further, and for me it's really hard to do by hand, so I have to get, like, well, in this case, an old sock. Alright, and I'm just going to take those pins, which you can't see now, and I'm going to, not only am I going to depress on this lever here, but then I'm going to pull on those pins and it should go on. There we go. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. And now it's on. And you can slide it out, slide it in, locks into place, and then you just push that up. It keeps it into place. Alright, that's pretty much all I had to do to this rifle today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And until next time, talk to you guys later.